Why does a single comment ruin your entire day? Why does rejection linger longer than success? Why do other people seem to have remote control over your emotions? Most people think this means they are weak. They are not. They are simply untrained. Modern life teaches you to seek comfort, validation, and emotional safety, but it never teaches you how to stand firm when those things disappear. So when pressure comes, your emotions collapse instead of holding the line. The ancient Stoics saw this problem long before social media, deadlines, and constant noise. They understood a brutal truth. Emotional strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build through discipline and perspective. This video is not about becoming cold or disconnected. It is about becoming unshakable. Today, you will learn 10 Stoic principles designed to harden your core, so chaos loses its power over you. Stay with me. One principle will change how you experience pressure. Principle 1. Accept that life is not meant to be gentle. Most emotional suffering begins with a quiet assumption you were never taught to question, that life should be fair, kind, and gentle to you. When reality violates that expectation, frustration turns into anger, sadness, or bitterness. You don't just feel pain, you feel personally attacked by it. Modern culture reinforces this illusion. You're told you deserve comfort, understanding, and emotional safety at all times. So when criticism appears, when effort is ignored, when people disappoint you, your nervous system reacts as if something has gone terribly wrong. But nothing went wrong. Reality simply acted like reality. The Stoics understood this clearly. They did not ask life to be soft. They trained themselves to be strong. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would meet selfish people, ungrateful people, and difficult circumstances, not as a complaint, but as preparation. Expectation is the first emotional weakness. Acceptance is the beginning of strength. Think about the moments that shaped you the most. They were not comfortable. Growth never happens in gentle conditions. It happens when resistance forces adaptation. Pain is not evidence of failure, it is evidence of training. When you stop expecting ease, you stop being shocked by hardship. And when hardship no longer surprises you, it loses its emotional leverage over you. You remain steady while others collapse into resentment. The practice is simple but uncomfortable. The next time something hurts, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this demanding from me?" This single shift turns emotional injury into discipline. You are not here to be protected from life. You are here to be forged by it. And once you accept that truth, life loses the power to break you emotionally. Say this to yourself when pressure arrives. I was built for this. I do not need comfort to remain grounded. I need clarity, endurance, and direction. Repeat it until your body believes it. This is how emotional resilience stops being an idea and becomes a lived identity earned through resistance, repetition, and choice. Principle 2. You are hurt by your judgment, not by events. Most people believe emotions come directly from what happens to them. A harsh word, a betrayal, a failure, and pain appears instantly. But this belief hides the real source of emotional suffering. Events are neutral. It is the story you tell yourself about them that cuts deepest. The Stoics understood this with unsettling clarity. Epictetus wrote that people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. Between what happens and what you feel, there is always a judgment. That judgment is where your power either leaks away or becomes unbreakable. Think about a moment that still bothers you. The event is over, yet the emotion remains alive. What you are reliving is not reality, but interpretation. You replay meanings, assumptions, imagined intentions. This is why emotional wounds last longer than physical ones. The mind keeps reopening them. Stoic strength begins when you interrupt this process, not by suppressing emotion, but by questioning it. Pause, name the judgment behind the feeling. Ask yourself what you decided this moment means about you, your worth, or your future. Then challenge it. Is it a fact, or is it a habit? This practice feels unnatural at first. You're used to reacting automatically. But every pause weakens the emotional reflex. Over time, you stop being dragged by feelings and start steering them. You will still feel emotion. Stoicism does not numb you, it sharpens you. You experience anger without losing control, sadness without collapse, pressure without panic. Your inner world becomes stable even when the outer world is not. Say this when emotion rises. I control the meaning. I choose the response. What hurts me is not the event, but the judgment I can change. This is how emotional mastery is built, moment by moment, choice by choice. With repetition, this skill becomes instinct. The calmer your judgments become, the less power chaos has over you. This is the difference between being emotionally reactive and emotionally sovereign. And sovereignty is the foundation of a truly unbreakable inner life over time. Principle 3. Detach from other people's opinions. One of the deepest emotional traps is allowing other people's opinions to define your inner state. A look of disapproval, a dismissive tone, silence, or praise can instantly lift you up or tear you down. Without realizing it, you hand over control of your emotional balance to people who may not even understand you. Modern life intensifies this weakness. Social media, workplace politics, and constant comparison train you to monitor how you are perceived. You begin to live externally, adjusting your behavior to earn approval or avoid judgment. This creates a fragile emotional system because what you don't control will always feel threatening. The Stoics rejected this dependence completely. They understood that opinions live outside your control, and anything outside your control cannot be trusted with your peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the thoughts of others are nothing more than passing impressions, unstable and often distorted. To build strength, you must withdraw your identity from them. Think about how much energy you spend replaying conversations, imagining what someone thinks of you, or trying to correct a misunderstanding. That energy does not protect you, it weakens you. Emotional resilience begins when you stop asking, "How do I look to them?" and start asking, "Am I acting according to my values?" Detachment does not mean indifference, it means clarity. You can listen without absorbing, consider without submitting, and receive feedback without letting it wound your core. When praise comes, you don't inflate. When criticism comes, you don't collapse. You remain centered. A simple practice changes everything. For 24 hours, stop defending your image. Do not explain yourself unnecessarily. Do not chase validation. Observe how often the urge appears and let it pass. Each time you resist, your emotional independence grows stronger. Repeat this truth: their opinions are not my chains. I am responsible for my actions, not their perceptions. When you detach from external judgment, you reclaim your inner authority. And with authority comes a calm, grounded confidence that cannot be shaken by noise, rejection, or misunderstanding. This discipline quietly builds unshakable emotional self-respect. Principle 4. Train voluntary discomfort. Emotional fragility often comes from a life built around avoidance. You avoid difficult conversations, physical strain, boredom, and uncertainty. Over time, your nervous system learns one lesson: discomfort is dangerous. So when hardship arrives uninvited, your emotions panic instead of adapting. The Stoics deliberately reversed this pattern. They practiced voluntary discomfort, choosing controlled hardship before life forced it upon them. Seneca wrote about sleeping on the floor and wearing rough clothing, not as punishment, but as preparation. He trained his mind to realize that discomfort itself is survivable. Modern comfort has made this lesson rare. Climate control, instant entertainment, and constant convenience remove friction from daily life. But friction is where resilience is forged. Without it, emotional strength never develops. You become sensitive, reactive, and easily overwhelmed. Voluntary discomfort retrains your emotional system. When you step into difficulty by choice, you reclaim control. Cold showers, hard workouts, fasting, or initiating uncomfortable conversations all serve the same purpose. They teach your mind that discomfort does not equal danger. At first, resistance is loud, your body argues, your mind negotiates. But each time you follow through, something subtle shifts. You stop fearing discomfort. You stop dramatizing it. And as fear shrinks, emotional stability grows. This practice is not about suffering endlessly. It is about choosing small doses of difficulty daily. One deliberate challenge a day is enough to strengthen your emotional tolerance. Over time, what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. When life delivers real hardship, it no longer shocks you. You have been here before. You have trained for this. Emotional pain still registers, but it does not control you. You remain grounded under pressure. Say this to yourself during resistance. Discomfort is my armor. It does not weaken me. It prepares me. Through voluntary hardship, you build an emotional baseline that cannot be easily disturbed. This is how strength is earned quietly, through repeated choice, long before it is ever needed. Each chosen struggle becomes a silent investment, compounding inner stability, sharpening self-trust, and ensuring future storms meet preparation instead of panic with calm certainty. Principle 5. Stop expecting emotional safety. Many people believe emotional strength means feeling safe at all times. They build their lives around avoiding discomfort, disagreement, and emotional exposure. This expectation quietly makes them fragile, because the moment safety disappears, their emotions collapse. Stoicism teaches a harder truth. Emotional safety is not guaranteed, and expecting it creates dependence. Life will disappoint you, challenge you, and sometimes wound you without warning. Strength does not come from preventing this. It comes from standing firm when it happens. Think about how often you search for reassurance before acting. You want certainty before commitment, approval before honesty, and comfort before effort. Each time you wait for emotional safety, you delay growth. You teach yourself that you can only function under perfect conditions. The Stoics refused this bargain. They accepted emotional exposure as the cost of living with integrity. Speaking truth, holding boundaries, and pursuing meaning all involve risk. If you require emotional safety first, you will never fully live. This principle is not about becoming reckless or insensitive. It is about accepting vulnerability without panic. You allow emotions to rise without demanding protection from them. You let discomfort exist without treating it as a threat. A practical shift begins here. When you feel emotionally unsafe, do not retreat immediately. Stay present, breathe, observe the sensation without reacting. Most emotional fear fades when it is not resisted. Over time, you learn something powerful. You do not need safety to remain stable. You need self-trust. When you trust your ability to endure, emotions lose their power to intimidate you. Repeat this reminder. I do not need emotional safety to move forward. I need courage, clarity, and consistency. This mindset transforms vulnerability into strength and fear into fuel. When emotional storms arrive, you stop searching for shelter. You become the shelter, and that is when your inner life becomes resilient, grounded, and truly unbreakable. This discipline deepens with practice, shaping calm responses, strengthening identity, and building confidence that does not depend on moods approval, or circumstances, but on repeated action aligned with values, even when fear speaks loudly inside you daily over time. Principle 6. Focus only on what you control. The mind breaks when it tries to control what was never meant to obey. Most emotional exhaustion comes from wrestling with people, outcomes, timing, and circumstances that refuse to bend. You replay conversations, predict futures, and rehearse losses, exhausting yourself over illusions of control. The Stoics drew a sharp boundary that most people ignore. Some things belong to you, your judgments, choices, effort, and response. Everything else lives outside your authority. When you confuse these categories, anxiety replaces clarity. Notice how often emotional pain begins with the phrase, "I need this to happen." You need someone to change, to understand, to validate, or to stay. The moment your peace depends on an outcome you cannot command, you hand your stability away. Stoic discipline pulls your attention inward. Ask one question in every difficult moment. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, act fully, without complaint or delay. This practice feels uncomfortable because it removes familiar distractions. You can no longer blame, chase, or worry endlessly. You stand alone with responsibility, but responsibility is lighter than anxiety and far more powerful. Begin with a simple ritual. When stress rises, pause and write 2 columns. On one side, list what you control. On the other, list what you do not. Commit your energy only to the first. Over time, this distinction becomes automatic. You stop wasting emotion on noise. You respond instead of reacting. The world stays chaotic, but your inner posture becomes firm, balanced, and clear. Say this when pressure tries to overwhelm you. If it is mine to handle, I will act. If it is not, I will let go. This is how control becomes peace, and peace becomes strength. Mastering this principle does not make life smaller. It makes it manageable. You conserve energy, sharpen decisions, and regain dignity. Nothing external can hijack you without permission, because your focus remains anchored where your power actually lives. This clarity compounds daily, steadily reinforcing emotional stability under pressure without excuses or negotiation ever. Principle 7. Let go of the need for closure. Some emotional wounds stay open not because the pain was deep, but because you keep waiting for answers that will never come. You want explanations, apologies, or acknowledgement, believing closure will finally bring peace. Instead, the waiting prolongs the suffering. Modern relationships encourage this trap. When something ends abruptly, your mind searches for meaning. You replay conversations, imagine different outcomes, and hope one final exchange will settle everything. But closure given by others is fragile. It depends on their honesty, maturity, and willingness, none of which you control. The Stoics saw this clearly. They understood that peace cannot be outsourced. When you ask someone else to close your emotional chapter, you give them power over your recovery. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when you stop demanding what others cannot reliably provide. Think about the moments you felt most stuck emotionally. It was not because the situation was unclear. It was because you refused to accept what had already been shown through action. Silence is information. Distance is an answer. Repeated behavior is explanation enough. Letting go of closure does not mean denying pain. It means refusing to negotiate your peace with someone who has already chosen their position. You stop asking questions and start accepting reality as it is, not as you wish it were. A simple practice helps break the loop. Write the letter you wish you could send. Say everything honestly. Then do not send it. The purpose is not communication. It is released. You reclaim your voice without reopening the wound. When you stop chasing closure, something shifts. Your energy returns. Your dignity stabilizes. You are no longer emotionally tethered to unfinished conversations. Repeat this truth. I do not need closure from others. I choose clarity and peace. This choice ends the cycle of emotional dependence. Closure is not a gift someone gives you. It is a decision you make. And once you decide, the past loses its grip, allowing you to move forward with strength, calm resolve, and emotional independence intact for the rest of your life. Principle 8. Practice emotional delay. Most people believe strength means reacting immediately. Defending yourself, explaining your side, or releasing emotion feels honest, but instant reaction is usually weakness disguised as expression. When emotions control timing, they control outcomes. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Power lives in the pause. Between stimulus and response is a space where freedom exists. That space is small, but it is where emotional mastery is trained. Without delay, you are predictable. With delay, you are deliberate. Think about how many regrets came from speaking too fast, sending a message too soon, or acting while emotionally charged. The damage was not caused by the emotion itself, but by the absence of restraint. Emotional delay protects your future self. Practicing delay does not mean suppression. You still feel everything. Anger, disappointment, and fear still arise. But instead of releasing them immediately, you contain them until clarity returns. This containment builds authority over your inner world. A simple rule reshapes behavior. When emotions spike, wait 24 hours before responding. No emotional texts, no impulsive decisions, no reactive explanations. Use the time to breathe, write, and observe your thoughts without obeying them. At first, this feels uncomfortable. Your mind demands release. It tells you action is urgent, but urgency is often an illusion created by emotion. As the hours pass, intensity fades and perspective returns. Over time, people notice something different about you. You become calm under pressure. Your words carry weight because they are chosen, not forced. You stop feeding conflict and start shaping outcomes. Say this when restraint feels difficult. I do not react. I respond with intention. This principle builds emotional authority slowly but permanently. With consistent practice, emotional delay becomes instinct. You gain control, not by force, but by timing. And timing turns emotional chaos into quiet strength that cannot be rushed, manipulated, or broken. Delayed response is how you reclaim dignity, prevent self-betrayal, and ensure that your actions serve long-term values instead of short-term relief, creating a stable inner rhythm that others feel and respect. This discipline separates adults from reactive children. Principle 9. Remember you will die. Memento Mori. Most emotional pain feels permanent only because you forget how temporary you are. When something humiliates you, frightens you, or wounds your pride, your mind treats it as if it will define you forever. This illusion gives small moments enormous power. The Stoics carried a brutal reminder to break this spell. Memento Mori means remember you will die, not as pessimism, but as perspective. When you place your struggles against the certainty of death, their emotional weight shrinks instantly. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself that soon both the one who remembers and the one remembered will be gone. This thought was not meant to depress him. It was meant to free him from taking insults, failures, and delays personally. Think about what consumes your emotional energy right now. Will it matter in 5 years? Will it matter at the end of your life? Most pain survives only because it is constantly rehearsed, not because it is truly significant. Remembering death sharpens priorities. You stop wasting emotion on people who disrespect you, arguments that lead nowhere, and outcomes you cannot control. You become selective with your attention because attention is life itself. This practice is simple. When emotion spikes, ask one question: would this still deserve my peace if today were my last year? The answer is almost always no. Memento Mori does not make you careless. It makes you precise. You speak with honesty. You act with courage. You forgive faster, not because others deserve it, but because your time is too valuable to spend in resentment. Say this quietly when you feel overwhelmed. This moment is small. My life is bigger. Death is certain. Peace is a choice. When you live with death in mind, fear loses its grip. You stop clinging, stop proving, and stop postponing your life. Emotional resilience grows naturally when you remember what truly matters. This awareness strips drama from your mind and replaces it with calm urgency, clarity, and gratitude, grounding you in what is essential while releasing everything that is not worth carrying forward. Today, Principle 10. Build your identity on discipline, not feelings. Emotional instability often comes from a fragile identity. When you define yourself by how you feel, your sense of self shifts constantly. Motivation fades, confidence fluctuates, and emotions dictate behavior. You become loyal to comfort instead of character. The Stoics rejected this foundation completely. They built identity on discipline, not on mood, desire, or inspiration, but on repeated action aligned with values. Feelings were acknowledged, not obeyed. This distinction is what separates emotional strength from emotional chaos. Notice how often people say, "I don't feel like it." That sentence quietly hands authority to emotion. It excuses inconsistency and weakens trust in oneself. When feelings lead, discipline disappears. And without discipline, emotional resilience cannot exist. Stoic identity begins with a different question, not "how do I feel?" but "what must be done?" This shift removes negotiation. You act because it is right, necessary, or aligned with who you are becoming, not because it feels good in the moment. Discipline creates emotional safety from the inside. When you trust yourself to act regardless of mood, anxiety decreases. You stop fearing low motivation, sadness, or doubt, because none of them can stop you anymore. This principle applies everywhere. You train when you feel tired. You speak honestly when it is uncomfortable. You remain calm when emotion demands reaction. Each disciplined choice strengthens identity. Over time, your actions become predictable, even when emotions are not. A simple exercise makes this real. Write a short identity statement. Not what you want to feel, but who you choose to be. Read it daily. Act in alignment with it, especially when resistance appears. Say this when emotions try to lead. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is permanent. I act from identity, not impulse. This is how emotional unbreakability is completed. When discipline defines you, emotions lose control. They may rise and fall, but they no longer decide your direction. You become stable, reliable, and grounded from within. In the end, nothing strengthens emotional resilience more than self-trust earned through disciplined action. This identity cannot be shaken by mood, pressure, or circumstance, because it was built intentionally, over time, through choice, consistency, and quiet inner commitment. You've just walked through 10 brutal Stoic principles, not designed to make life easier, but to make you stronger. You learned that emotional unbreakability is not about avoiding pain, silencing feelings, or pretending nothing hurts. It is about training your inner world so no moment, no person, and no circumstance can dominate you from the inside. Each principle points back to the same truth. Strength is built through awareness, discipline, and choice. Accepting hardship, questioning judgments, detaching from opinions, embracing discomfort, releasing the need for safety, focusing on control, letting go of closure, delaying reactions, remembering death, and grounding identity in discipline. Together, they form a mental armor that grows stronger with use. But knowledge alone changes nothing. Stoicism only works when practiced. Choose one principle from this video and commit to it for the next 7 days. Apply it deliberately, especially when emotions rise and resistance appears. That is where transformation happens. If this video resonated with you, take a moment to like it. It helps this message reach others who are struggling silently. Subscribe if you want to continue building quiet strength, clarity, and emotional control rooted in Stoic wisdom. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your attention matters, your growth matters, and your inner strength is something you can build, starting now. I'll see you in the next video.